Currently there are 27 mythics in this game, and only 3 of them are snipers. I don't really snipe much, but I found a loadout from the top 20 leaderboard players of the Tundra, and I copied it and used as default for all the snipers. And this is the gunsmith which the player used. It does not focus much on mobility, but has FMG for bullet penetration. Now, when I watched other YouTubers' videos, the iron sight seemed quite obstructive, but even though it is like wide, but the edges they are pretty thin, and it just gives you a lot of field of view, so it is actually a very nice iron sight. And I also like that the design of the sniper is not bulky. You will see the Rytex is just way bulkier, and this one is lean and clean. And if you level up the iron sight, you will also have a kill counter, but even the default variant is sufficient. Tundra itself is the main sniper at the moment, like you can actually use it. Although I noticed that players usually say that you should use it in like search and destroy, not respawns. And I firmly agree that you should really not snipe in respawns, or at least have it as a part of an overkill loadout, since now we have the overkill pack, as you really just need to play a BG. But in SND, maybe in like team deathmatch, etc., it is a really good option. Like from the snipers, it is just the best right now. Although this kind of also reminds me of a situation like we had with Grau. Not many players bought the legendary, later Mythic was introduced, and later it was nerfed, and now Grau is no longer the top meta. But maybe for snipers, Tundra could remain the top sniper meta even later on. And I mean, there are snipers like the DLQ, for instance, which are like not the best, but have been among players' favorite choices for a really long time. And here's the DLQ. Now for gunsmith, I literally just chose the recommended variant. And this blueprint is also pretty lean, like it is quite good to just sprint around, it does not block a lot of you. Although I would say that Tundra has a better sprinting animation, this one is a bit just more eye-catching, which is distracting and like it can be annoying. But the iron sight is just very... it is not obstructive at all, although at first it can feel awkward because of how uniquely designed it is, and the scope and animation, it is something that you kind of need to get adjusted to. But once you do, there are really no issues with this Mythic blueprint. Usability, well, what I've noticed immediately is that when you're ADSing and like adjusting the aim where you want to shoot, this DLQ is just more responsive compared to the Tundra. Tundra is a bit slower in regard of like moving your ADS, but it could also be the build. Like I noted at first, the build has the FMG and no like the under barrel, which would improve the mobility, which adds up. But regardless, DLQ also it has a not as good of a damage. You have to just be focused on the upper body part, which makes it a bit harder to use, as you just have to be more accurate compared to the Tundra. But it has been one of the sniper players' favorites for many seasons, like pretty much since the release. Unlike the Rytex, I know one guy who used to use Rytex in ranked, and he had it in leaderboard. Oguzan or something is his name, but this season I did not notice him using Rytex anymore. And well, the gunsmith, I also just copied the recommended gunsmith, though it is interesting to note that that player used to use a thermite mag. Now this was the very first sniper Mythic, and it is pretty chunky, bulky, it is not as lean as the other two, which is a bit annoying how it dangles on the side when you are sprinting. And also the iron sight, well, when I made my first video I said that it is just god awful. And you can kind of get used to it, but as you can see, it literally just blocks a lot of view. And considering that even though Rytex is usable, like you get not just one shot, but you can spam a few shots, you can use the thermite mag. It is not like a horrible sniper, it deals pretty good damage, but it is not among the meta snipers. And so I think that this would be the worst Mythic. Well, it needs a Mythic change, like an upgrade, like Peacekeeper received this season, and now the iron sight is just splendid. And I think that considering that this was the very first sniper, Kodem should definitely just upgrade it as well. And overall from these three, Tundra is obviously the best, but DLQ has been good for many years, so I think that you can even consider them a tie. And Rytex is kind of a random ad, and an awkward one at that. Although I think in terms of design I might prefer the Tundra. DLQ has a good team, but it is a bit too New Year's themed, like it is too celebratory. Also, while the snipers are super satisfying to use, but are we really needed? Like, would you not get the same result with just the free default variant? I kind of think that you would, but it would be really nice if some sniper experts, some players who use them a lot, could comment on that. As, yeah, like the iron size Vs are good, but even default ones are alright.